The truth is out there. This video from the Department of Defense has a lot of people rethinking UFOs and asking, what if we're not alone? So this is a sign of the times we live in. With all the news about the Russia investigation, the GOP tax cut, this incredible story nearly got overlooked. We're learning about a Pentagon program to research UFOs. The official who led the effort telling CNN there's very compelling evidence that we may not be alone. Let's discuss now. Investigative journalist Leslie Kean, author of UFOs, Generals, Pilots, and Government Officials Go on the Record. Great to see you again.
Great to be with you, John.
We did a show 5 years ago. You reminded me on UFOs,
cool?
right?
I know,
On H.L. Joy Behar show.
So happy to be coming back on with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, and let me ask you about this because you helped break this story for the New York Times. It's about Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. And let's put the video up. This video is of a U.S. military jets encountering an unknown object. It was released by this program. What do you make of this video? What's happening here?
Well, what's really fascinating about the video is that the object that's caught in the scope in the center has been hovering for quite a few minutes. And then all of a sudden at the end, which is what we're seeing on the screen now, it zooms off to the left very fast. This is a fair distance away, so it's going fast. And, you know, we don't have technology that can hover in one spot and then suddenly go off at a right angle. Especially something without any wings or propellers or anything like that.
All right, so this is not, you know, we don't want to do the Twilight Zone, that sort of, but what? That's what people think about. What is that? What is it? What could that object be? Where could it be from?
That's what they're trying to figure out, actually, on this official Pentagon program. I mean, it's not so much that they can figure out where they're from, but they're trying to figure out how they behave, what are the consistent characteristics that repeat themselves, how can we explain what they're doing, what they do. The questions about, you know, the bigger questions, we don't have data to answer those questions.
So are we talking, you know, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I know you hate going there. Little green men?
We're not talking little green men. We're talking about just physical objects in the sky that have certain capabilities that we can't explain. Very advanced. They call it beyond next generation technology.
All right.
That's the way the program describes it.
So Jim Sciutto, who's my colleague, just spoke to a retired U.S. Navy pilot. He witnessed this, and he asked him what made him think this object was from another world. Watch this.
Well, the first thing is it had no wings, so you think, okay, it's a helicopter. Well, there's no rotor wash in the water. There's no rotors. And when helicopters move to side, they kind of slow, and then they pick up speed going the other way. This was extremely abrupt, like a ping pong ball bouncing off a wall. It would hit and go the other way and change directions at will. And then the ability to hover over the water and then start a vertical climb from basically zero up towards about 12,000 feet and then accelerate in less than 2 seconds and disappear is something I had never seen in my life.
An experienced pilot who said he had never seen anything like that in his life before that could move like that. I think that's pretty significant. So,
yeah, I sat down with him and interviewed him at length.
Okay. So then if you say, no, let's not talk little green men, are we talking otherworldly? Or maybe is it a spy craft or something from another country that maybe they have something that's more advanced than we are?
Well, I mean, the officials who have studied this believe that it is not technology possessed by any country. I mean, they have made that statement on the record that they've observed enough of it, and they have colleagues in other countries, that they've drawn that conclusion because it is so advanced, what they have observed. And also, these things have been around for a long time, Don. So go back to the 50s and 60s when they were doing the same thing they're doing now. What kind of technology did we have then? Nothing close to what we have now. So it's a mystery that needs further funding, further investigation. Governments need to take it seriously. And by the way, governments in other countries do take it a lot more seriously than we do. So we kind of need to catch up.
I need to tell our viewers that this program officially ended in 2012, but Luis Elizondo, who's a former Pentagon military intelligence officer, he was part of the program, and the government funded ended in 2012. You reported that the same backers claim that the program is still operating. So what can you tell us about the status of this program? Yeah,
I mean, what happened was before 2012, they had enough of a budget. There was $22 million allocated so they could hire these contractors to work for them. And they were able to accomplish a lot because they had a budget to hire contractors. But when the funding dried up, the officials inside the program continued to do what they were doing, which was to continue to investigate cases that were brought to them. So as far as they're concerned, the program continued. And there are many people that have reported that to us, you know, people that are on the record. We've seen documents also that show that that's the case, that it has continued.
You're an investigative journalist. You investigate this stuff. Do you think there's life out there? And has it come to this planet?
Well, I think that a lot of people would believe that there's life out there. Whether it's come to this planet, that's another question. And I don't know for sure. I think it's a valid hypothesis for what we're observing. But as a journalist, you know, I'm not going to speculate about things that I can't prove, so I don't know. That's my honest answer.
It would be myopic to think that we're the only ones, I think.
Well, I don't think anybody believes that. But the question is, if we're not, they're so far away that how could they ever get here? That's the big mystery.
Well, we got, you know, to Mars.
We have maybe civilizations that are way ahead of us in terms of years and years, millions of years or whatever. So, but, you know, what we need to do right now is examine what we have in front of us and stop running away from it.
Fascinating. Thank you. Appreciate it.